The Science of Santa Claus. The magic of Christmas isn't going anywhere. Movies, music, tons of chocolate, awesome presents, it definitely is the season to be jolly. But while lots of us are busy stuffing turkeys or buying Christmas jumpers for awkward office parties, scientists, mathematicians, physicists, and theorists are all engaged in that oh-so-serious yearly debate. Just how feasible is Santa Claus, scientifically speaking?
Are you saying there's something wrong with my gear? Is that what you're saying to me?
If he does exist, and we all know he does, then what kind of festive figures is he posting? Let's unravel the science of Santa. And here's hoping you asked for a calculator this year. First off, how does the big guy get around so quickly?
Yes, it is I, Santa Claus! Ho, ho, ho! Hoo, hey, ha, hoo.
Obviously the answer's magic. But what if he had only regular reindeer at his disposal? Assuming that flying reindeer have the same top speed as your standard land-based version, Santa's sleigh pullers are hitting 50 miles per hour on a good day. But for them to visit every house in the world in just one night, they need to be traveling at around 900 miles per second, give or take. How have we reached that figure? Well, there's roughly 2 billion children in the world, and while estimates do vary, around 400 million of those celebrate Christmas. With an average of 3 children in every household, that's upward of 130 million homes on Santa's annual route. Still with us?
I've got a busy night ahead of me. Lapras, would you bring my friends safely back to where you found them, please?
Taking the average distance between every Christmas celebrating house into account, the legendary gift giver has to cover 100 million miles in what we can only assume is an exceptionally busy evening.
Well, I guess I'll just have to do it my way.
But wait, thanks to global time zones, he does have a little longer than just your typical 12 hours of nighttime to work with. Continually moving west until he reaches the international date line at dawn, the bearded wonder actually has about 31 hours to complete his trip. 100 million miles in 31 hours equals 900 miles per second. It's pretty simple, really. But back to the reindeer. Their top speed isn't quite what's required. It's actually more like 0.01 miles per second, all of which means it'd take roughly 2 million hours, that's 83,000 days or 228 years, for Santa's sleigh to circumnavigate the globe, by which time you're probably not that interested in whatever toy you'd ask for all those years ago. Obviously though, Santa manages it every year because his magical reindeer are clearly incredibly quick. But the astonishing speed shouldn't detract from St. Nick's monumental effort in general come Christmas night. All in, he makes 1,200 visits a second, that's 70,000 with every passing minute. Given that he has to climb down the chimney, fill up stockings, and swing milk, sherry, or whatever else has been left out at every single stop, the guy does not hang about. In terms of milk and cookies, reliable estimates vary wildly, and no one's yet managed to ask the man himself. But say Santa's snacking on 3 per household, that's a whopping 390 million altogether. And he's washing it all down with roughly 5 million gallons of milk, all while traveling at the magic 900 miles per second. It's a wonder he doesn't spend the entire journey with his head in a sick bucket.
Shut up! That's a verbal warning, please stop it.
The big guy's still only reaching about 0.5% of the speed of light though. If anything proves just how impossibly fast light speed really is, then it's this. Forget how fast it's traveling though. The sleigh itself is the ultimate vehicle. 400 million kids means 400 million toys at least.
ねえ、サンタさん、どうして僕にはプレゼント持ってきてくれないの？
それはな、お前の家が貧乏だからだよ。
Taking the Furby, one of the most popular kids' Christmas gifts in the 90s, as a typical toy in terms of size, shape, and weight, the yearly load weighs about 550 million pounds, which is over 250,000 tons. Add to that the weight of the actual sleigh and of its exceptionally well-fed pilot, and you really start to feel for Donner, Dasher, Blitzen, and the rest. But before the sleigh is loaded, the toys have to be made. And the numbers behind Santa's workforce also spectacularly snowball, especially if you have had a mulled wine or two. Say it takes every elf 1 day to make 1 toy, and they work every day except Christmas. To generate enough toys for everyone, Santa needs just over 1 million elves. That's close to the population of Manhattan. If the nice list is especially full and the average is up to 10 toys per kid, the task gets even trickier. Say our 1 million-strong staff of enthusiastic elves actually work a standard working week, that's over 2 billion hours total to make over 4 billion toys. So it's half hour per toy, not including overtime or the very probable possibility that they're all working weekends.
Hey, Ming Ming. I'm gonna be a little bit short on today's quota.
As for where this workforce lives, it's anyone's guess, but it's massive.
I want to make shoes!
with conservative estimates claiming that Santa's North Pole facility is around 25,000 square miles, including a working factory and enough living space. Perhaps tellingly, people do live in the Arctic regions of Canada, Greenland, Siberia, and Scandinavia, but nobody actually lives in the North Pole itself. Scientifically speaking, that's because A, it's made of highly unstable sea ice, and B, because temperatures regularly drop to minus 40 degrees. But could it be that no one goes there because St. Nick has a magical monopoly on the winter wonderland? You decide.
Good Lord, he doesn't know about Santa Claus!
What's the science of Santa Claus? Honestly, it's all over the place. But as we all know, Santa's magic probably doesn't give two ho-ho hoots about our poxy science anyway. Regardless of whatever ultra-advanced technology he's obviously employing, as long as there are presents to deliver and cookies to devour, he'll be there. Who are we to argue with his methods?